The cracks are widening, and the tension is palpable. Labour's leadership is in a downward spiral, and no amount of spin can hide the chaos brewing behind closed doors. The party is teetering on the edge of a full-scale implosion. Rachel Reeves? She's clinging to her position like a lifeboat in a storm, but even the most loyal allies are starting to question her judgment. Starmer's insistence on keeping her in place is looking less like loyalty and more like desperation. The question isn't asterisk if asterisk something will give, it's asterisk when star. Behind the scenes, whispers of rebellion are growing louder. Labour MPs, once eager to toe the line, are now openly questioning the direction of the party. The grooming gang scandal has been a turning point, exposing not just a failure of leadership but a deep rift within the party itself. While Starmer dithers, others are stepping into the spotlight, calling for action and accountability. The public, meanwhile, is watching with growing disgust. The anger is real, and it's not going away. The grooming gangs issue is more than just a political talking point, it's a national scandal that cuts to the heart of public trust in institutions. Dan Carden's bold stance has lit a fuse, and it's only a matter of time before more MPs follow his lead. Starmer's failure to address the issue head-on has left a leadership vacuum, and Carden is filling it. His calls for a national inquiry have struck a chord with a public that feels betrayed and ignored. People want answers, and they want justice. Starmer's silence on the matter is deafening and damning. And then there's Robbie Moore, hammering home the message that Starmer is weak and naive. Moore's focus on local inquiries has exposed the glaring inconsistencies in Labour's approach. The Bradford Safeguarding Report, which should have been a cornerstone of accountability, has instead become a symbol of failure. 5 children? That's what the report focused on? In a city plagued by these horrific crimes, it's an insult to the victims and their families. Moore's outrage is shared by many, and it's putting even more pressure on Starmer to act. But will he? Or will he continue to hide behind vague promises and empty platitudes? Meanwhile, the economy is going from bad to worse. Inflation is strangling household budgets, and growth is nowhere to be seen. Rachel Reeves' tax hikes are a blunder of epic proportions, alienating businesses, pensioners, and farmers alike. The bond markets are in turmoil, with yields soaring and confidence plummeting. This isn't just bad economic management, it's a full-blown crisis. And Reeves? She's doubling down, insisting that her so-called growth plan will work if we just give it time. Time? That's a luxury most people don't have when they're struggling to put food on the table. Labour MPs know this. They can see the writing on the wall. The public's patience is wearing thin, and every misstep from Reeves and Starmer chips away at the party's credibility. The whispers about potential replacements for Reeves are growing louder. Pat McFadden and Wes Streeting are waiting in the wings, ready to step in if, or rather, when, Starmer finally admits that Reeves has to go. But replacing her won't solve the deeper issues. Labour's economic policy is a disaster, and a new face won't change that. And let's not forget the defections. 20 councillors walking out in Broxtowe is more than just a local issue. It's a signal that Labour's grassroots support is crumbling. These aren't random backbenchers. These are the people who form the backbone of the party, the ones who knock on doors and rally voters. Their mass resignation is a damning indictment of Starmer's leadership. If he can't hold on to support at the local level, how can he hope to win a general election? The war in Gaza has only added to the turmoil. Labour's stance, or lack thereof, has alienated key sections of its base. The party that once stood for principles now seems adrift, with Starmer unable to articulate a clear position. The resigning councillors didn't mince words, accusing Labour of abandoning its core values. It's a sentiment shared by many, and it's driving a wedge between the leadership and the grassroots. And then there's the polling. Labour's numbers are dismal, and Starmer's personal ratings are even worse. The Tories and Reform UK are snapping at their heels, and the public's trust in Labour's ability to manage the economy is evaporating. Starmer's approval ratings are in free fall, lower than past leaders who ended up as political footnotes. The cost of living crisis, the NHS meltdown, and the sense that the country is heading in the wrong direction are all taking their toll. People are angry, and they're looking for someone to blame. Right now, that someone is Keir Starmer. The media is circling like vultures, sensing blood in the water. Every misstep, every scandal, every resignation adds fuel to the fire. Starmer's grip on the party is slipping, and the momentum is shifting. The question now isn't just about Reeves or the economy, it's about whether Starmer himself can survive. Leadership challenges are no longer a distant possibility, they are a looming threat. The likes of Wes Streeting and Lisa Nandy are watching closely, biding their time, ready to strike if the opportunity arises. Starmer's attempts to project strength are falling flat. His promises of stability and competence ring hollow in the face of mounting evidence to the contrary. The public sees a leader who is out of touch, out of ideas, and out of his depth. Labour MPs see a leader who is dragging the party down with him. The cracks are turning into fissures, and the pressure is building. Something has to give. The next few weeks will be critical. Starmer is running out of time and options. He needs a miracle to turn things around, but miracles are in short supply. The economy is in shambles, the party is divided, and the public is fed up. Every day brings new challenges, new scandals, and new doubts. Starmer's leadership is hanging by a thread, and the thread is fraying fast. The political landscape is shifting, and not in Labour's favour. The grooming gang issue, the economic failures, the defections, the polling, all of it is creating a perfect storm. Starmer may have survived this long, but the clock is ticking. The question isn't whether his leadership will collapse, it's when. The storm is here, and it's only getting stronger. Buckle up, because this is going to get messy.